Right. Hello, hello. Welcome to my Lunch and Learn, where each and every week we explore topics to help you elevate your mindset, be at your best, and radically expand your life and business. And today I'm talking about something very, very special. We're talking about something we all want more of: time, money, and freedom. So, if you've ever longed for a life where freedom is the norm, where you've got the time to enjoy your life and the money to do what you love, but you feel like you're constantly chasing it, you are not alone, because so many people feel like they are working harder and harder and harder, yet never truly achieving the balance that they desire. And today I'm going to share one secret thing that is required to just break the cycle and unlock a life of genuine freedom without feeling overwhelmed or stuck in the daily grind. Okay. It's going to be simple, it's going to take some work, but I promise you it will be worth it. So, some of you know me, some of you don't. I'm Larisa Makuch, author of Stop Procrastinating Your Life Away, Discover the Secrets to More Time, Money, and Freedom. So I've spent a lot of time thinking about this topic. I'm a master results coach and CEO of Abundance Academy, where we work with professional women ready for their next level of success. Women that want to connect to who they are at a deeper level so they can radically expand their lives and their businesses. I'm just going to put the chat on here. So, okay, if you guys have any questions, I do appreciate you for being here. I appreciate your presence. So I want you to let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're tuning in by replay, type in replay in the chat so my team and I can welcome you. If it's your very first time, type in first time in the chat. So thank you for plugging in to this super important and really timely topic, I think. So growing up, I thought you had to work hard for the money. My grandparents were immigrants and they came to this country with nothing, and they built a beautiful fortune. They worked their tails off, and for that I am so grateful. They did that. They sacrificed themselves to build us a better life. And in the community I grew up in, there were some people that were really considered successful business leaders or successful in their field or in their craft. And one of the things that I noticed is a lot of these people that were rich or successful, they had sacrificed their health, they had sacrificed their relationships, they had sacrificed something really intense, and they didn't have that freedom. They had a sense of sadness or hard work and grit. And I thought that's just how you had to do it. And there was always a part of me that was uncomfortable with it. I'm like, well, I want to have something, but I don't want to lose the best of what's important to me. And I always thought you had to give something that was important to you up in order to achieve that success. And then I started going to seminars and I met some other people in a very different crowd that were very successful, both financially and in all other realms. They had total freedom and they had healthy relationships. They had great physical health. They had amazing businesses. They had great friends. Like, they also had their energy together. They thought differently and they operated very differently. And so I started waking up and paying attention. And one of the things I noticed that they all had in common is that they had built capacity. They had the capacity to handle what they did. And some of them did a lot of things. They did things that were huge. Others did things that were very simple. Others did things that were very niche. But they all had the capacity to do what it is that they chose to do. And I thought that was very interesting. And I didn't know the words to articulate this until very recently. I've started studying capacity this past year. So that's why I'm choosing to use this word. However, this is definitely a common thread that I noticed in all of these people. They were never stressed with the success they had. They were always able to keep it together. And not just on the inside, a lot of these people I observed behind closed doors. So this is how they operated in their entire lives and businesses. And so what is this term capacity? Capacity is the maximum amount that something can contain. Okay, so let's say the capacity of a glass. Or in this case, I don't have a glass with me today. I have a coffee mug with tea. Okay, so I can only put so much tea in here before it pours over. And when you're building capacity, this is your ability to hold space. So the container only has so much capacity before it's used up. And when it comes to us as humans, we aren't like the glass or the container that can only stay a certain shape. We can expand our capacity to actually handle more. And that doesn't mean to just stuff more into your life or stuff more into the cup, so to speak. However, that does mean be really diligent with what's going in there and also be able to expand yourself to manage and handle and deal with these things. And this is essentially your ability. Capacity is your ability to produce or perform or manage your affairs successfully. And the cool thing about this is it can be learned. These are skills that can be acquired. And since the 1950s, international organizations, governments, NGOs, communities, all kinds of people have used this concept of capacity building as part of their plans. Why? Because when they expand their capacity, they can expand their reach. They can accomplish their mission. They can really truly be more, do more, and have more, and fulfill the legacy that they want to fulfill. So, what you need to know about this is that if you want time, money, and freedom, we're going to start with the freedom concept. And I want you to avoid the freedom trap. You need to know what freedom is. Because if you don't know what freedom is for you, if you don't know what your desires are in this cup of freedom, how can you create the space for it? You need crystal clarity as to what that is. And a lot of times people say, oh, I want freedom. What does that mean? Oh, I want to have the freedom to do what I want, where I want, when I want. Okay, what do you actually want to do with your time when you have freedom? Where do you actually want to do it? Like, you've got to give yourself specifics. If you want to say, I want to travel the world, well, where do you want to go first? What are your first 5 destinations? Sure. Do you want to just visit there, or do you want to live there for a few months? I think there's a very distinct definition. Do you want to be able to go on holidays? Do you want to take your family? Do you want to just go by yourself? These simple, tiny distinctions are really important for you to consider, because that's going to be your definition of freedom. Because my definition of freedom is very different from yours. And you need to know what yours means. So if you want to have freedom, let's just get really down to basics. Before you jump and reach and aspire for freedom, figure out what it actually is. Now, if you have the definition of what freedom is, chances are it's not just the money, the house, the cars. It's going to have an element of having the time, energy, and ability to enjoy it. And there's always something below the surface of what you think your desire is. So this is really important for you to think about. This is why clarity is the number one first step in any process. And one of the things we do in our vision expansion workshop is help you create clarity. This is something I desperately needed back in the day, because someone's like, create a life's vision, and I didn't know what to do. And so I found a process that started to fill in those gaps for me, where I was left in tears, not knowing where to go. But I got clarity as I found where those gaps were, as I filled them, as I answered these questions for what I truly desired. Not what my mama desired, not what my grandma desired, not what my husband's desired, what I desired. And I started building my dream life and started living it right away, just like you can, because you can absolutely build your dream life and start living it now, not 30 years from now. But you got to have the clarity. Okay. So freedom can be closer than you think. You can start moving in that direction now. And you've got to know what you want. Okay. So I'm going to ask, if you're interested in attending our vision expansion workshop, we've got one coming up over the next couple of months. So we've got 4 specific dates happening this fall, and I'm sure we will rerun it at some point in the future. If you're watching this at a later point, maybe my team can post the links in the chat, or if you're watching this, just write vision and we will get a link to you. It's a free workshop. It's amazing. But you've got to know what you want, and you've got to know what you can do now and what's going to just wait till later. It's okay to wait, because you're only going to have so much capacity to do what you can and what you want now, and then other things can happen later down the road. Okay, so first and foremost, have the clarity and know what freedom means to you. Now, the second thing I want to look at is energy. Okay. And so often when you look at what's keeping you from freedom, it's probably you don't have certain skills, and you might have roadblocks in the way. One of those big roadblocks for 90% of people is energy. If you do not have the energy to do what you need to do, to learn what you need to learn, to move forward, then you're not going to be able to achieve your dreams and to have that freedom that you desire. And Albert Einstein said, everything is energy. That's all there is to it. Match the frequency of what you desire, and you can't help but get it. This is not philosophy. This is physics. And so you want to look and be really cognizant of what boosts your energy and what depletes it. Okay, what are those energy suckers? I know for me, it's certain foods. If I eat carbs or sugar during the day, I am out like a light. I will be tired. I will be exhausted. I'll have a headache. I will sleep. But if I eat other foods, I will be energized and vibrant and able to sustain. I could eat the other foods after a certain period of time in the day, but during the day, I know that certain foods keep my energy up. What else? Exercise. If I exercise, and it doesn't have to be a lot, 5-10 minutes, even a walk, some simple movements can give you vibrance for the day. Sleep, good sleep habits. These are simple, basic practices, but these are things that boost my energy, that probably boost your energy. And if you're aware of what boosts your energy, that's huge. Maybe there are certain people you spend time with that just invigorate you. Perhaps there are certain types of projects that you do, or activities that you do, or crafts even, or hobbies. What lifts you up and lights you up like a Christmas tree? Maybe there are certain types of tasks that you do in your work or in your vocation that you're just like, oh my God, I could do this all day. Those kinds of things boost your energy. That's really good to be aware of. Are you doing things that bring you joy? But then what are the things that don't bring you joy? What are the things that deplete the energy? You want to know what those are as well, so you can stop doing those things. One of the things that absolutely drains people of energy is messes. They actually drain time, money, and energy. And when you have messes around, your brain is looking at all of these things. It doesn't know what to put away. It doesn't know where to go. It doesn't know what to do. It's just so full of clutter. When you have, sometimes it's physical messes that you can see, but other times they're energetic messes. Maybe they're unkept promises. Maybe they're unpaid bills. Maybe they're things on your to-do list, and they just keep accumulating and accumulating, and we call those open loops, things that you intend to do but haven't done. And when you've started projects, it's like these open loops are like a circle that has a little leak and a little leak, and sometimes that leak gets pretty big, and it lets your energy just flow right out. But when you close that circle and close that loop, then there's so much more sustainability within that. So messes are a huge thing that cause time, money, and energy to drain. This is why we work with, we have a cleanup checklist that I've designed to help manage messes. So if you want the cleanup checklist, just write cleanup in the chat and we'll make sure to get that to you. But boundaries are one really powerful way to protect your energy. Okay, so boundaries are really powerful with people. And sometimes there are just some people that drain your energy. Sometimes it's certain situations that drain your energy. And so you need to create rules around how you spend time with people, how much time you spend with certain people, perhaps how you will allow people to treat you. and how you choose to interact with them. And when you create these boundaries or these guides and these rules for yourself, they can absolutely act like a shield to protect your energy. They can be very neutral. People may not like the boundaries you set initially. And however, when you do set these boundaries, they will make a world of difference. I'm not sure if I've done a lunch and learn episode on boundaries yet, but I definitely know we've done some training with our clients around this. And when you set boundaries and they're effective boundaries for you, and you uphold your boundaries with others, then you teach them how to treat you. And this is a powerful way to maintain that energy. You've got to focus on things you can control, not on what you can't. And when you really do put yourself in the driver's seat and command your energy, that will be an absolute game changer, because it will position you to be more effective with your time. It'll give you the ability to enjoy the things you're doing, to have the energy and the ability, the capacity, okay, the capacity to actually be able to do these things. Now, when it comes to having more time, let's talk about time. Okay, so time is the great equalizer. And the trouble is, you think you have time. This is something that Jack Kornfield said. The trouble is, you think you have time. We all have 24 hours in a day. And it's not how much time we have, but how we use that time. And your life is a high stakes game. You are probably going to be way more productive and way more satisfied doing things you enjoy. You're probably going to be way less productive and a lot less satisfied doing things you don't enjoy. And you need to know what you value and what your desires are. And you need to spend your time doing things that you value, that are in alignment with your dreams and desires, and that actually bring you joy. And when you do more of that, more of the time, and only do things that are in alignment with that, and just say no to the other things, you will be spending more time on the things that matter to you. So it's not about getting more time. It's just about using your time for the things that actually matter to you. And this goes back to knowing what you want, having that clarity, because when you know what you want and you make those decisions deliberately and purposefully, you are becoming a creator of your own life, a deliberate creator of your own life. You are not living your life by default. And you can easily say, no, thank you to the things that are not in alignment at this point. So really look at, as you're removing things, do they align? No. Say goodbye. When you are adding things, ask yourself, is this something you have to do? Or is there something that maybe another person or another system can do for you to help you with that? Maybe you need to have those things done, but you don't have to do that. And so when you're looking at bringing on another person or a system, it can take more time to set it up or to manage it in the beginning. However, it will save you time in the long run. It's using the principle of leverage. This is something I talk about in my book. And so just realize it doesn't all happen at once. You start things now, and there's other things that will happen over time, but you've got to be purposeful with the time you have and only do things in the direction that your dreams require. Okay. So time is really about redistributing the energy that you're spending on the things that make a difference to you. And then third hot topic of the day is money, 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 money. If you want to increase your financial capacity is it's almost like the mental capacity or the energetic capacity to manage money. And I think this is an important skill that a lot of people don't have. Those that are taught this at a young age or by their families or people around them are very fortunate. It's just not something that many people are born with. And so it's something that can be learned. Okay. And it will require to take some energy to learn about how to manage your money. But if you want to have the money, to have the freedom to do what you want to do, to go where you want to go, you've got to actually increase your financial capacity. And so maybe that's spending time learning about how to earn money, hold your money, invest your money, grow your money, manage your money, give your money. If you're in a job How can you be more effective at your job? How can you have a better attitude? Um, how can you collaborate with your colleagues more effectively? How can you have better and more appropriate visibility within your company or within your industry? How can you step out into networking opportunities, skill building opportunities, boost your timeliness, make 1% improvements in what you do every day? These little tiny micro adjustments are going to help increase your capacity and ability to do an even better job at what you're doing. When you're in business or in leadership, things like your creation of thought leadership content, right? What are your thoughts? What are the visions that you're sharing with your company or with your team or with the world? Are you are you spending time with people that matter? Maybe it's your management team, maybe it's your staff. Are you spending time to connect with the people that you need to connect with at events or maybe through some kind of talent acquisition process? So what are you doing to improve your client service, to improve your product delivery, to improve your mindset, to improve your ability to solve problems with permanence? So really looking at some of the nuances when you break down, okay, it's going to be a little bit different for everyone, but when you break down the core components of your money making activities, we're going to say what is required and how can you be even better at those things, and what are the 1 to 3 areas that if you looked at all the things that you did, if you decided to really invest your time, your money, your energy into these things that will make a bigger difference, what would those be? Start with those. Okay, you can't spread yourself thin, but if you start with 1 or 2 up to 3 things that are going to have the biggest bang for your buck, that will help you achieve your goals and dreams, that will help increase your financial capacity, what would those be? So I hope this has landed for you. I hope this has made sense. If you guys have any questions, then definitely feel free to pop them in the chat or just send them along to my team, because this is such an important topic. Like I said at the beginning, we are here to learn about more time, money, and freedom. And if you want more time, you've got to know what you want. Back to that clear definition of freedom. You've got to do things in alignment with what you want. Back to that definition of freedom. You need the clarity of what freedom is. You need the picture of your ideal life. If you want more money, you've got to do things that are going to help you earn or generate or optimize the money that you are in contact with and build your capacity for being in a healthy way, in a healthy relationship with money. And if you want that freedom, back to basics. I've said it 12 times. Know what freedom is and start moving towards it each and every day. Start living your dream life now. Start living your life of freedom today. And be really, really cognizant of where you're going. You're going to constantly up-level your picture. This is a never-ending process. But if you feel like you've maybe never had a life's vision and you're going, I don't even know where I'd start to create this life of freedom, to create this vision for myself. I'm like totally lost. That's you. That's okay. A lot of people are. I'd say 90% of people out there are in that boat. If you've been in personal growth and you've created a vision and you're like, I like it, I'm like totally motivated, but there's something that's not quite feeling right. Or maybe there's something that's missing. A lot of people, especially in the world of personal growth and development, that are in that boat as well. Or maybe you had a beautiful picture and you know what happened? You achieved it. And now you're going, where do I go next? Where do I go next? What is my next picture? Then I want to invite you to this vision expansion workshop. It is a free 4-hour workshop for professional, high achieving women ready for their next level of success. Regardless of whether you've done this process before or not, I am going to walk you through an actual blueprint of your ideal life. You will walk away with your picture in hand. We're going to look at all the pillars of a rich and fulfilling life and not just intellectualize it, but we're going to install it into every single cell of your body and put some of the first steps in place so you can actually achieve it. So if you are interested in joining us, there is a link in the description of this video or in the chat. Go there, get registered for it, join us. It is a phenomenal, phenomenal opportunity. We have literally had people come back to this 3, 4, 5, 6 times over the years that we've run it, because they've not only learned what they want, but they're getting so much more depth, so much more clarity each time they come back. And they're realizing, wow, I had this level of clarity, and then I lived it. I lived it. I lived a part of it. I want to go more. I want to go more. I want to go more. I want this beautiful life that I dream and desire, and feel really, really good about it. So that's the whole point of this workshop, is to teach you a process that you can use and duplicate, or you can come back and join the group and really create that rich and fulfilling life for yourself. So we are signing off. I will be back again next week with another amazing topic. I hope this concept of capacity, this ability to hold what it is that you desire, is landing with you, because without creating the capacity for your dreams, they're just going to be this idea in your head, this nice little thing on paper, and not be able to move forward. So let's create the energy, let's create the time, let's create the financial resources so we can truly